Hi everyone, welcome to SriSai online training. In this session of UI technologies, today we are going to discuss the following topics. So this is a demo session 1. So in this demo session 1, we are going to discuss what are UI technologies or what is UI technology, what is web page, what is website, what is web application. And then we will also discuss three-tier architecture, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, which is client server database of developing a new web application or updating a existing web application in internet. Right. So first of all, we'll start with what are UI technologies. Right. So coming to UI technologies. So what does UI stands for? So UI stands for user interface. Okay, right. And then what is user? Okay, so user means any person who is interacting with computer is known as user. Any person who is interacting with computer is known as user. So why users will interact with computer? For using any computer application. So for using any computer application, users will be using the computer. For example, we can use MS Office, we can use Notepad application, and then we can also use browser. So why we use browser? We use browser to access internet, okay, to access websites. So these are some applications which are used by any user of a computer to interact with computer application. Examples: MS Office, Notepad application, browser application to access the websites. Example for websites is google.com or gmail.com or yahoo.com or facebook.com. So these are different applications which can be accessed on the internet using a browser. So this is what is the main purpose of a user in interacting with computer and computer application. Right. So what do you mean by interface? So interface means mediator. Okay. So interface means mediator, or it is something like a middle person. So for example, so what is the interface between user and your computer application? Okay, so basically the main interface between user and computer application is GUI, graphical user interface. So what is this graphical user interface? So GUI means window. Okay, so in window we will have title bar, we will have menu bar, menu options like file, edit, search, view. Okay, and then we will have something like editing boxes. So if it is MS Office, we can write your resume in editing area, okay, etc. So all these comes under GUI. Okay, right? So user means any person who is interacting with computer application. So interface means mediator between end user and computer application, which is nothing but GUI. So this is what is user interface. Now, coming to the concept of technology. Okay, so what do you mean by technology? So technology means, okay, it is a mediator between user and computer web applications. Okay, so technology, so here I'll write it. Technology means it is a subject using which we develop UI applications. So technology means it is a subject using which we are going to develop UI applications, especially computer application also. Okay, so for example, we have many technologies in computer, like we have C, C++, we have Java, we have Python, so on. We also have UI technologies. So using UI technologies, what we are going to develop in computer. Okay, so the technology which is used to develop UI applications. So UI applications means computer websites or web application is known as UI technology. Okay, so the technology which is used to develop, okay, so which is used to develop UI apps between user and computer applications is known as UI technologies. So basically, the basic or the standard UI technologies are HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So using HTML, CSS and JavaScript, we can develop any web page. So these three are standard UI technologies. They are standard UI technologies to develop any websites or computer web applications. So this is what is all about UI technologies or user interface technologies. So now let us try to understand what is web page or what is website. Okay, so basically using UI technologies we can develop websites. Okay, so we can develop websites. Example, we can develop www.google.com, www.gmail.com, www.facebook.com. Right, so what actually is website? Okay, so website is nothing but collection of web pages. Okay, I'll repeat it in nothing but once again. So website is nothing but, okay, it is nothing but technically collection of web pages. Okay, that is collection of many web pages. Okay, for example, if we take Google News, okay, so in Google News we will have top stories, we will have national news, we will have business news, we will have sports news, etc. So each link is one web page in a website. So you take any web application, it is a collection of different web pages, and all these web pages makes up a website. Okay, right. And technically, what is web page? Okay, so web page. So web page is a collection of information in the form of. So web page is a collection of information which is basically in the form of text, image, audio, video, graphics, okay, or animations, etc. You take any web page or any website will have all these things. So all these things makes up a web page. So let us try to take this with a small real-time example in a browser. So open any browser in your system. So I'm using Google Chrome browser. So in Google Chrome browser, I'll go to www.google.com. Okay. So in Google search, I will type Google News. So I'll be getting Google News link. Okay. Now if you see here, this is a search page. At the beginning, we have Google logo. Here we have the search bar. Okay. And then here we have list of options. Okay, we have list of links, we have image links, we have video links, etc. So I'll click on the first link, Google News. Okay, so I'll be having different web pages here. So for example, top stories. Okay, I will have top stories web page. Next, national news India. I'll be getting another web page here, India news or national news web page. Okay, next I have world news. Okay, so click on the world link. I'll be getting world news web page. Next I have local news, Hyderabad news. Okay, I'll be getting Hyderabad web page. Next I have business news. Okay, similarly I have technology news, I have entertainment news, I have sports news, science news, health news. So collection of all these web pages makes up Google News website. So this is how a web page contains text, image, audio, video, graphics, animations, etc. Okay, and finally to develop a web page. Okay, so to develop any web page, what we require? So we require UI technologies. Example, so for this we are going to use HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So these three are basic or standard UI technologies. Okay, right? So these are standard UI technologies. So standard UI technologies means without HTML, without CSS, without Java, we can't develop a web page. So they are compulsory, which are used for web application development. Okay, and then we have some advanced UI technologies also like Bootstrap. Okay, next we also have something like jQuery. Next we have AngularJS, which is very popular in the market. We have Angular 9, which is also very popular in the market. So like this we have different UI technologies, and all these are advanced UI technologies. So these advanced UI technologies are derived from basic or standard UI technologies. Okay guys, fine, right. So simply one small diagram here, it goes like this. So web page. So web page is collection of information. Okay, next, so for this web page, collection of web pages. So when we do collection of web pages, what we get? We get a website. Okay. So web page is a collection of information, and collection of web pages, we get a website. And finally, in technical words, so technically, website means web application. It is web application. Technical word is web application. Website means web application. So now let us try to understand three-tier architecture or three-tier model. Okay, so what is this three-tier architecture or three-tier model? So it is a model, architecture or design using which we can develop web applications in IT industry. So basically in three-tier architecture, we have tier 1, comma, tier 2, comma, tier 3. So what is this? Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 means these are 3 layers or 3 sections. So these 3 sections helps us to develop a complete website or a web application in IT companies. So basically tier 1 is client, tier 2 server, tier 3 database. Okay, so let us try to understand this with a small diagram. Okay, so now we will understand what is three-tier architecture. Okay, right, so coming to the three-tier architecture. So basically in three-tier architecture, what happens? Here we will have client, we will have server, we will have database. Okay, client, server, database. So what is this client? What is this server? What is this database? So client means it is a machine on which client software will be running, and this client software is browser. So in browser we will type the web page using internet connection www.gmail.com. So immediately the request goes to the server. So server is a machine on which will be running server software, and these server softwares will be running using Java technologies, .NET technologies, Python technologies, PHP technologies, etc. Okay, Java, .NET, Python, PHP. So server will accept your request, process your request, and gives the reply back to the client as response. So client will be getting back that as a response. Okay, right. So now basically in browser we have to display the response from the server. Google website, Yahoo website, Facebook website. So how to do that? So to display a web page, that web page is developed in HTML, CSS, JavaScript or TypeScript, etc., which are technically known as UI technologies or client-side technologies. And that is the reason why tier 1 client is called as presentation layer or front-end layer. So presentation or front-end for your computer web applications. Okay, so server. So server is called as tier 2 or middleware layer or business logic layer. So why it is called as business logic layer means it will accept the client requests, process the client requests, and gives the response back to the client. So that's why it is called as middleware or business logic layer. Now this server, okay, so whatever the server you are using here, okay, so if this server, okay ma, so this is your server, this is your client, okay, and then this is your, at the last you will have the database. So let us highlight the database also, right? Okay, fine. Database. So server is capable of communicating with database. So what is database? So database stores your website information permanently in the form of tables. Example, Oracle software, MySQL software, SQL Server software. So using all these softwares, it will store and it will manage the data in the form of database tables. So this is called as storage layer or backend layer, and technically it is a tier 3. So server will communicate with database. Database will give the reply back to the server. Okay, so database will give reply back to the server, and then the server will process that data and sends that as a response back to the client. And in client, in browser, we are going to display that data in the form of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So this is what is all about three-tier architecture: client, server, database to develop any web application. So now coming to what is tier 1 in three-tier architecture. So technically it is known as presentation layer or section. Okay, so in presentation layer, we are going to display the web page in browser software. So the examples for browser softwares are something like we have Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer, and nowadays we also have Edge browser from Microsoft, Opera, Safari, UC browser, etc. So this layer is for clients. Clients means users and their machine. Okay, and to display a web page in a browser for clients, we use UI technologies. Example, HTML, CSS, JavaScript with DOM, Bootstrap, jQuery, AngularJS, Angular 9, etc. And we also have other technologies like AngularJS, Angular 2 plus till Angular 10, Express.js, Node.js, React.js, Vue.js, etc. Okay, so using UI technologies, we are going to display web pages, okay, in a browser software. And to develop a website, compulsory we require a UI technology. So coming to tier 2 in three-tier architecture. So technically it is called as middleware layer or server layer or section. Okay, so basically here we accept the client request from browser, process the client request, and provide the appropriate response back to the client. So what is server? So server is a machine actually. So basically server is a machine, hardware, and on this server, server softwares will be running. For example, if you are using Java technology, so for Java technology we use Apache Tomcat server or Glassfish server. Okay, and if you are using .NET technology, we use IIS, Internet Information Server. If you are using PHP, we will be using XAMPP server. If you are using Python technologies, then we'll be using Django server. Okay, so what is the use of these technologies? So using these technologies, we can write the business logic for our websites or web application. For example, if you are using a bank application, in bank application, we can write the fund transfer logic. So sender account number, receiver account number, IFSC code, okay, amount, number, all these things, OTP. So using that, we are going to write the fund transfer logic. And if you are using any cell phone application, so call cost calculation comes under cell phone calculation application. It is a business logic. And if you are writing any using any online shopping application, so in online shopping application, billing. So billing. So we take all the products into the cart or basket and we will do the billing. So that billing is a business logic application. Okay. So server. So server is capable of communicating with database, backend technology to get dynamic information. And for this, the servers will be using JDBC, ADO.NET, PHPDB, and PythonDB. So JDBC is used in Java, ADO.NET is used in .NET, PHPDB is used in PHP, and PythonDB is used for Python Django application. So this is what is tier 2, middleware or server layer. So coming to tier 3 in three-tier architecture. So this is also known as backend storage layer or section. So what is the use of tier 3? So in tier 3, we are going to store the data of our website permanently in the form of tables. So tables means we'll have the combination of rows and columns. And the commonly used database softwares are Oracle database, SQL Server database, MySQL database, DB2 database, etc. So this is what is providing dynamic information which changes from time to time. Okay, information which changes from time to time using database layer. Okay, right. So tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And finally, one small note point here. So every website has a web address. Okay, so web address is also called as domain name. All these are technical words, web application, domain name. So for example, www.google.com, www.gmail.com, www.facebook.com. So all these are domain names. Okay, so basically we type the website name in the browser address bar. Okay, and then a website request is sent to the server over internet or network connection. So server will accept that request and response is also sent over the internet. So this is how we are going to develop and work with web applications using UI technologies. So that is what is all about today's session in UI technologies, demo session 1. So what is UI technology? What is web page? What is website? What is web application? And we have also understood what is three-tier architecture. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, which is client, server, database of developing a web application. So web application means technically it is known as website. So website is nothing but collection of web pages, and in web pages we'll have information in the form of text, images, audio, video, graphics, animation, etc. So thank you guys for watching and listening to this session of UI technologies. Have a nice day.